Hello, my lovely learning designers. How are you today? This is Anna Sabramowicz, and today I have another walkthrough for you. And this one comes from our community. This one was developed by one of my students, Kimberly Goh, and she's put together this fabulous piece, visually stunning, great mechanics, excellent lessons. And those are the things that we'll be going through today, and I'll be pointing out some of those things, which is things like what's the storytelling like, the storytelling elements, the visual design, the user experience, the mechanics, and of course, the lessons. How is somebody learning from this experience? So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right. Now we're on this fun splash page, Workplace Warzone. Catchy title. I don't know very much. The only thing I know so far is that these people, they're not looking so happy. And then this guy looks like he wants to escape, which is kind of fun and intriguing. And I love that. It doesn't say leadership 101 or emotional intelligence 101. Say none of that. What it's doing is piquing my curiosity and not giving anything too much away. Now, the other thing is visuals, stunning, of course. And there's a start button here. One of the things this is doing is kind of prompting me maybe to click here to kind of keep it going, which is a great, kind of like, hey, don't stop here, keep on going. That's a great user interface. But the other thing that is awesome is that this entire screen is clickable, so I can move forward. Let's do that.
Steve's workplace is a war zone. His team is composed of star players who don't get along. Some team members constantly argue. Others are disengaged. The biggest conflict is between Rebecca, the sales manager, and Jason, the marketing manager. Steve has tried everything, but nothing seems to work.
Steve, this is a serious problem. Your team is a mess. If you don't fix the situation, I may need to make some changes around here.
Yikes.
Make some changes? What did she mean by that? I don't want to lose my job.
Ooh. Something's at stake. So as you saw, within just a couple of, basically a minute, we were introduced to the situation, and then our protagonist, Steve, who obviously has something to lose. And I don't know if his boss actually meant to say, you're going to get fired, but it kind of implied there, and it's pretty intense. All right. Okay.
Hey, what's this?
Here we go. So he actually did this class.
I forgot about that EMC course on emotional connection. I wonder if that course could help me deal with what's going on right now.
Ooh, okay. So here we are at the choice screen. Now, watch how beautiful this is as far as like the constraints. Kimberly decided her interactive story was going to have two options only. And so she's like, okay, she constrained everything to these two options, and watch how tight this language is every time we make a decision. So this interactive story has several different endings depending on the choices that you make. I'm going to take you to the not so awesome ending because I want you to experience the fabulous ending, as I'm going to put the link underneath the video, of course. But let's see what happens. I'm gonna let you play with these options on your own. So in the meantime, I'll do this one. Watch EMC videos.
This is even more relevant than I thought. Hope this works.
Cool.
Steve, you've got to do something about Jason. He's stonewalling me again. I can't get anything done. I've been trying to schedule a meeting with him for weeks, and he won't even respond to my emails.
Now, if you look at this, the simplicity of this actual screen, it's an image with text, the narrative, the conversation, the dialogue, and the forward button, and that's it. And the other thing I want you to also take into account is that I am controlling the pace of this story with my clicks. Nothing is being automatically played for me. And as an end user personally, I think that's actually awesome, because when things show up automatically, I read faster or slower than the thing is actually coming in, and that actually annoys me visually. I find it very distracting. So here, the click shows new text or then what the next scene is, and I'm in charge of how fast that goes. Kimberly's definitely added this awesome, beautiful narration in order to enhance this experience and add maybe some depth to it, and to push herself, obviously, to create something that had multi levels of engagement. So let's see how this proceeds. Okay, so I could ask her for more information or acknowledge her feelings. Notice how tight these are. So we're focusing on actions here. I'm going to say ask for more information.
Tell me more about what Jason is doing. How's it impacting your team?
We have to coordinate plans for the sales launch, but he's always too busy to meet with me. Then last week he did something that really ticked me off. Apparently he decided to move forward with a new social media campaign, even though I already told him several times it wouldn't work. The messaging is completely wrong, and it's being seen by thousands of people. I can't believe he didn't listen to my suggestions on how to change it. His team is totally out of control. You've got to do something about this, Steve. It's really going to hurt our numbers when we launch next month.
Man, I love this person's voice.
She's even angrier than she was before.
Ugh.
Maybe I didn't need this much information.
Ouch.
You and Jason used to be a great team. When did this problem begin?
3 months ago when he unveiled that ridiculous marketing plan. I explained why it wouldn't work, but he totally ignored my feedback.
Okay. Identify emotions or brainstorm solutions. Let's do brainstorm solutions.
Sounds like a challenging situation. How about if we brainstorm solutions? You've come up with some great ideas, Rebecca. I'm sure one of these solutions will help you with Jason.
She doesn't really look convinced.
That was a good brainstorming session. I just hope it works out.
Yeah, I hope so too.
The sales launch is coming up soon. I'm still worried Jason won't cooperate.
All right. Look at these nice, tight decisions. And there's a good pace to it. You notice that there's a certain amount of dialogue back and forth, and then I'm engaged again, so I can't just zone out, right? Okay, determine next steps or validate her feelings. I'm going to do validate her feelings.
I hear you, Rebecca. It makes sense that you'd feel worried. You and Jason depend on each other to get the work done. This project is important to both of you.
I really appreciate that, Steve. Thanks for listening.
I'm glad I paid attention to her feelings. Maybe I'll talk with Jason too.
All right.
So that's how Rebecca sees it. Can you tell me your perspective?
You don't know the full story about what happened after the meeting. She yelled at several of my subordinates, called them incompetent idiots. I don't mind if she attacks me, but it's unacceptable for her to attack my people.
I'll ask how he felt about it.
Take a look at this list. How did you feel when that happened?
Tense, angry, betrayed, embarrassed, fear, sad, surprised. This was a good meeting, Steve. Do you mind if I keep the emotions list?
I'm surprised Jason opened up like that. He usually doesn't talk about his emotions at all.
4 months later.
My team is a mess, and our sales are plummeting. I feel like I failed as a leader. Guess it's time to start looking for a new job. If only I could figure out what went wrong.
If only, because I thought I handled that well, people. All right. So
You reached a poor ending.
Okay.
Why did this happen? Rebecca was still angry when she initially described the situation. When you asked for more information, she became even angrier. If you had acknowledged her feelings first, it might have de-escalated a tense situation.
Okay. And I love, I know this will sound weird, like obviously this is all super subjective, right? But one of the things that I love is this lady's voice because it sounds so motherly, like, she's giving me feedback now and it's not so good. Obviously I messed up because I got Rebecca to this face, but it's kind of nice when you're hearing it from somebody who sounds like they really want to help you, which is great. So one of the things we're doing here, and this is very important, is this is the feedback. This is the constructive feedback. This is the value. You will get this value from this experience and the feedback regardless of whether you go on to anything else. And I think that's so amazing because you're delivering value to people and helping them do things better without expecting anything in return. And I think that's so cool that EMC is actually doing this, which is excellent. The other thing is that a lot of people mess up by crafting scenarios where what they do is they give you this feedback right away. And what it does is it breaks the story a bit because all of a sudden you're taking out of the story and into the omnipresent voice of reason telling you how you've messed up. What Kimberly's done is she's taken this, moved the feedback at the very end, and given us a taste of, hey, this is what you did, and this is how it could have been better. And so it's either, what it does is it lets me experience what has happened. And I'm like, oh man, I failed, I got fired. Now let's see where I messed up. And here we go, let's see.
You brainstormed solutions while Rebecca was still upset, so she remained skeptical. If you had helped her identify her emotions first, she might have been more engaged during the rest of the conversation. You validated Rebecca's feelings when she said she was still worried. This de-escalated her emotions and increased her level of trust and openness. However, this did not fully resolve her conflict with Jason.
So I kind of messed up with Rebecca by trying to brainstorm stuff before I acknowledged that she was super angry.
You asked how Jason felt and gave him the opportunity to identify his emotions. This helped him to be more open to a collaborative solution. However, Rebecca was still angry, so they were not able to resolve their conflict.
That makes sense. Now, one of the things that we're doing here, and this is kind of cool, I already went through the story and I experienced these situations and emotions and all those things and made those decisions. Now, I'm actually revisiting the story again, but in a more thoughtful way because I've now seen how the story ends, and I saw that my ending wasn't so awesome. And so my openness to feedback at this point has probably been increased by 50% because I saw that I wasn't successful. And so you got to be strategic with your feedback here because if you give it to people at the wrong time, they might not appreciate it as much as if they know its value and how it's going to help them. So this is dope. Also, the other thing is look how succinct and pointed and helpful this is. It's so well written.
Looks like you might need some help. Click here to download your free guide, 5 Ways to Boost Your Emotional Intelligence.
Seriously, isn't this fun? It's catered to my result. I didn't get a great result. And so my motherly voice said, hey, you might need some help with this. And here I get to go on and learn more about emotional intelligence. Bravo. I think this is an excellent experience. I seriously enjoyed not only the simple way that it presents the information, for me, a lot of those decisions were I thought they were like a no-brainer. I'm like, of course I'm going to brainstorm with you. This is what we do instead of talking about emotions. So I think it's a fun experience. I hope you go through it yourself so that maybe you can learn something and also get to the awesome happy ending because as you saw, the entire experience has some beautiful visuals and you want to make sure that I want you to experience them all because they're fantastic. So if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. If you enjoyed this, if you found this experience was fun and you found the insights were something that you found of value, make sure you let me know in the comments because I love putting these together for you and walking through, especially when they come from our very own community of interactive storytellers. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe and like this video and share it with somebody who might also want to be inspired to craft their own, because one of the things we're doing here is we're exploring these wonderful experiences because we want others to model them and spread the word and become fabulous at crafting experiences that really meaningfully engage people to actually change their behavior. All right, so without further ado, I'll see you later. Bye.